a high-quality flight sim that integrates with Foreflight and can go in your pocket on this episode of In the Hangar. Hey everyone, we are here at Airventure at the Flying Eyes booth. This is a special episode of In the Hangar. I'm Dan Milliken.
And I'm Christy Wong. Today's episode is brought to you by our awesome sponsors, Flying Eyes. If you're at the booth or online, use our discount code, taking off all caps, one word,
and
10% off.
Speaking of online, you can go to Colton Taking Off to get your residential mortgage or your refi. Colton Mortgage is a great sponsor of ours, and also MPS Protects. All pilot-run companies that are our sponsors.
We like pilots.
We like pilots.
People.
They're the good guys. Okay, speaking of good guys, we've got with us Cameron and Jason from Infinite Flight. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much.
Does this mean I can fly forever? Because that sounds amazing.
You can indeed.
If you wanted to, as long as you refuel, you're good.
Okay, so you guys have a flight sim that differs from the others in that you can take it in your pocket and stuff. Tell us about Infinite Flight.
Yeah, so Infinite Flight's a flight simulator that you can download for iOS or Android. You can have it on your phone, you can have it on your tablet, and you can, as we say, carry your passion with you wherever you go. Yeah.
So we started talking about it just briefly when when we introduced ourselves earlier, and I asked, well, isn't it like Microsoft Flight Sim or whatnot? And you said sort of, but it's different. How is it different than something like that?
So yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator is great for immersive practice when you've got a yoke and a joystick and a massive PC. But what about when you're on the go? So if you have your phone or your iPad, you're doing a cross-country flight and you want to practice, you can just pull out Infinite Flight. You can fly your cross-country route before you go, see if there's anything en route that you maybe want to be aware of that you wouldn't have thought about otherwise, and you can do it all straight from your pocket.
Yeah, okay.
How did you guys come up with this idea? I mean, you already had a market. I mean, why not just grab, Microsoft Flight Sim? Why did you guys come up with this?
Well, the sim's actually been around for, I think, 11 to 12 years now. So at the time, there wasn't really anything that was viable as a flight simulator on a mobile device. And it actually started out, our CEO, Laura, started out with it on Windows Phone. Which,
wow.
Isn't a thing anymore. But that's
I
how it
remember
started.
those.
That's what I had around back then. Yeah,
They were great back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so back, even 10, 12 years ago doesn't seem like a long time, but in the mobile space, it's a very long time ago, and there just wasn't really anything that was not as serious, games and things like that, which a lot of people do use Infinite Flight as a game. I use it for fun, I use it for work, and I also, as a pilot, use it for practice and couch flying, so.
I know people are going to ask, is it loggable?
It's not loggable yet. Hopefully.
Oh, you guys are working on that.
We'd like to work that way someday.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. But as a practical use for myself, I just got my PPL a year and a half ago. So our team said, listen, Jason, use it as objectively as you can during your flight training for whatever use you have. And I'm really bad at math. And so doing math in the cockpit...
Math is hard.
Math is hard, exactly, yeah. I have that in my blog article, Math is Hard, and then it talked about this. But doing speed, distance, and time calculations for me in the cockpit during training when you're already very task saturated was pretty daunting, and my mind would sometimes just go blank, especially if I was already frustrated by something or whatever. So I would take, and in Canada where I fly, you can't use Foreflight or an EFB for training. You have to use charts and paper and your paper nav log. And
like at all?
At all. And
like, is it against the law, or is it this like a CFI thing?
They arrest you,
It's.
Are they waiting for you on the ramp?
Yeah,
they're not
apparently,
gonna throw
with
you in
guns.
Jail, but you can't use it on your check ride, and so they don't use it in training
Yeah, if
yet.
you're not going to use it for your check ride, don't. Why?
Yeah,
Right,
why would
okay.
you do that? So you learn how to use an E6B. So
Right.
I would have in the floor of my office, I would have my paper chart, my nav log, Infinite Flight, and I would actually fly my cross-country route before actually going and burning gas and getting frustrated in the cockpit, and practice those speed, distance, time calculations. We have real-world winds aloft and density, altitude, and we have a cirrus cloud layer, and I could actually see, using our satellite train imagery, where the train tracks are and where the lake is that I'm going to use as a set heading point.
No, but seriously, is that a regulation that you're not allowed to use Foreflight on your check ride? Or is it just
currently,
like
yes.
a DP? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not
Because I know
allowed.
some DPEs in the States will say yes to Foreflight, no to Foreflight, or whatever, Garmin, whatever you have. I didn't realize that was a...
Yeah, you can't do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
You know,
of course,
yeah, go ahead.
I got very comfortable with the E6B, and as soon as I passed, I happily chucked that out the window, and I gave it back to.
Right.
And
Check it out the window in the
Threw it on
plane.
the ground.
Yeah, and promptly started using Foreflight, which I already knew quite well because we can use it in conjunction with Infinite Flight.
Okay. I mean, I'm thinking about this in terms of like as a CFI
Yep.
and how I could integrate something like this, with future flight students or any CFI could do that. Here, like for example, instrument training. Hey, go do this cross country. Go practice this on your mobile device. Come back and tell me how it was, or something along those lines. That's a good practical
And you
use.
can go as well with Foreflight, staying on that topic. You can also use it to practice things in Foreflight that you wouldn't otherwise do. So you're sending the data straight from Infinite Flight. If you want to understand how a chart's going to show up at an airport, or there's a new feature that Foreflight have just added and you want to test it without going in the real airplane and maybe having task saturation in the cockpit,
Nice.
it's a great way to do it.
Out of all your users, take a guess as to how many use it for training and how many just use it for fun.
That's
Why
that's
not
a hard
both?
question to answer.
Why can't training be fun, Dan?
Exactly, that's a good point, yeah.
Yes, my training was fun sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the App Store and it's a mobile app, so there are a large number of users that just use it for fun or use it to experiment flying. I'm from the UK where private flying is pretty expensive and not
Right.
that common as in the US, so for me it's very much as a thing for fun and also as a way to kind of like prepare for training when that eventually happens. But in the US, we've spoken to quite a few people that have used it, and especially for things like air traffic control. We have a built-in mode that it programs the messages for you based on your current position, based on the frequency you're connected to, and it will
That's
logically
interesting.
select the stage of flight that you're in to select the messages that you want.
And human ATC.
So yeah, so there's a human on the other end that will send a message as well.
So you have somebody on staff who's logged in and
No, these are the community
Users.
members.
Yeah.
other users.
What?
Nice.
We have a server system where you start out on a casual server on our multiplayer system, and then you go up to the training server once you have some experience points, and then on the training server you can be a pilot and learn some more in-depth features, and then also ATC if you want to give it a try. Not everyone's going to pay it,
That is
follow instructions maybe on the training server, but then once you're ready for it, you can actually take a practical test with a group of ATC trainers that we have, and then a written test, and if you pass those, then you can control on our expert server where the rules are all enforced. And it's actually pretty amazing. I used to control, that's how I kind of climbed the ranks of Infinite Flight before I was working with the team, and I've gone back to try and control a little bit, and I can't do it. It's hard. It's just, air traffic control is not a cakewalk.
Not at all.
And we have sometimes very unrealistically high numbers of traffic during events that we hold.
Just like Airventure.
Exactly.
Just like Airventure, and these controllers will bring you in on this S pattern and on approach, and it's incredible to watch.
ATC Venture.
ATC
or
Venture, that's a good
Sim
one. Can we use
Venture.
that?
Absolutely.
Oh, no, that's actually been
Trademark.
done.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, guys, if they want to download Infinite Flight, get involved, what do they do?
So you can simply just head to the App Store or Google Play. The app's completely free to download and try out. If you want to become more involved in it, we have extra features such as global flying and a ton of aircraft, over 60 aircraft, and our air traffic control system. That's a subscription that you can get for $9.99 a month.
How much are the subscription levels?
$9.99 a month.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
$9.99 a
Right.
month. That,
Yeah.
$999 a month.
It's
Got it.
US.
Okay.
So with pilots, you have to. Sometimes they'll say
You have to get the
$9
decimal.
or $900.
Yeah.
Niner.
Because it's
Niner?
aviation, so you never know.
$900 and
Niner.
Yes. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'd love to see you. If you're at Airventure, we'd love to see you come by the booth. We're in Hangar C, and it's. Thanks for having us on. It's been
Yeah,
a pleasure.
thank you. It's been
talking
great.
to
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you for
Thanks.
joining us. And thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate all of our sponsors. We appreciate all of our viewers. We couldn't do this without any of you guys. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, and share our content, and we'll see you next time.
In the hangar.